I have a feeling that something big is being hidden. And in my opinion, the most dangerous secret in Port Charles right now may not be Jocelyn's disappearance. I think the real shock could be what Cassius does next to keep Britt silent. And I know that sounds extreme, but I feel like the moment Britt starts questioning Cassius, she stops being protected by him and starts becoming a threat to him. That is the open loop I cannot get out of my head. What if Jocelyn is only the beginning and Britt is actually the next person Cassius decides to lock away? I could be wrong. This is just my interpretation. But I feel that the story is setting up something darker than a simple kidnapping mystery. I think Cassius may have crossed a line that Britt can no longer excuse, no matter how much family loyalty she still feels toward him. From my point of view, Britt has always been caught in a complicated emotional trap when it comes to Cassius. I think she may know more about him than anyone else. I feel that she may understand his crimes, his habits, his weaknesses, and maybe even the secrets connected to that cold synthesis project. And because Cassius is family, I think Britt has tried to convince herself that hiding certain truths was not the same thing as helping him. But in my opinion, that excuse starts falling apart the second Jocelyn gets pulled into the darkness of Windermere. I think Britt may have been grateful when Cassius helped cover up the secret involving Rocco and Cullum. If Rocco shot Cullum, or if Britt believes that version of events, then I can understand why she might feel trapped. I feel like Cassius may have offered protection at the exact moment Britt needed it most. And when someone protects a family secret, especially one that could destroy a young person's life, it creates a debt that is almost impossible to break. But here is the question I keep asking myself. What happens when the person who saved one life starts destroying another? That is where my first theory begins. I think Britt may confront Cassius and demand that he release Jocelyn before Windermere becomes a tomb instead of a prison. In my opinion, Britt knows that Windermere is not just a creepy mansion with dark hallways and old secrets. I feel like she understands that the place has a pattern. People go in frightened, confused, desperate, and sometimes they come out changed forever. I could be wrong, but I feel Britt may connect Jocelyn's danger to what happened with Anna. I think Britt may fear that Anna was not simply held there, but psychologically damaged by whatever happened inside those walls. And if Britt believes Jocelyn is trapped in a similar nightmare, then I think her conscience could finally overpower her loyalty to Cassius. But I do not think Cassius would take that well. In my opinion, Cassius is the kind of person who sees disagreement as betrayal. I feel like if Britt tells him to stop, he will not hear concern. He will hear disloyalty. He will hear judgment. He will hear the possibility that Britt might finally expose who he really is. And that leads me to the second open question. Does Cassius fear Britt because she knows the truth or because she knows enough to destroy his entire plan? I think Cassius may already suspect that Britt is becoming unstable from his point of view. Not unstable emotionally, but unstable as an ally. I feel like he may notice the hesitation in her voice, the fear in her eyes, the way she reacts when Jocelyn's name comes up. And in my opinion, the moment Cassius realizes Britt's sympathy is shifting toward Jocelyn, he may decide that Britt can no longer be trusted. This is where my second theory gets darker. I feel that Cassius may turn the conversation around and accuse Britt of standing with his enemies. I think he may remind her that he protected Rocco. I think he may weaponize that secret and say, in his own way, I saved your family, and this is how you repay me. In my opinion, that would be classic emotional manipulation. He would not need to shout at first. He would simply make Britt feel guilty enough to hesitate. But I think Britt may push back anyway. I feel Britt's breaking point could be Jocelyn. Not because Britt suddenly becomes perfect or fearless, but because I think she knows exactly what Windermere can do to a person. Sidwell being there makes it worse. Pascal being the caretaker of that place makes it worse. Cullum moving in and out of that orbit makes it worse. In my opinion, Windermere feels like a trap with too many predators circling the same victim. And if Jocelyn is locked away there, I think Britt may realize that every hour matters. But here comes the twist in the middle of the story, the part I think could change everything. What if Cassius does not just threaten Britt? What if he decides to make Britt disappear too? I could be wrong, but I feel that Cassius attacking Britt would make emotional sense if he believes she is close to revealing his identity, his crimes, or whatever secret ties them together. I think he may not want to kill her, at least not in his mind. I think he may justify it as controlling the situation. But in my opinion, locking Britt away would still be a terrifying act of betrayal. And I think that is what makes this theory so disturbing. Britt may have spent all this time trying to protect Cassius from exposure, only for Cassius to see her as disposable the moment she develops a conscience. I feel like Britt's disappearance could create a second mystery that overlaps with Jocelyn's. At first, everyone may focus on Jocelyn because Jocelyn is already missing, but then Britt suddenly goes quiet. She misses calls. She avoids people. She vanishes from places where she should be seen. And in my opinion, people may assume Britt is hiding because of guilt, when the truth could be that she has been silenced. That is the kind of twist I think General Hospital could use to raise the stakes. And here is my controversial opinion. I think Britt may be more dangerous to Cassius than Jocelyn is. I know that sounds strange, because Jocelyn may be the one locked away. But Jocelyn may only know what Cassius did to her. Britt may know who Cassius really is. Britt may know the old secrets, the hidden crimes, the cold synthesis connection, and the family lies that Cassius cannot afford to have exposed. In my opinion, that makes Britt a ticking time bomb. I feel Cassius might be able to control Jocelyn physically at least for a while if she is trapped at Windermere. But Britt is different. Britt has history. Britt has knowledge. Britt has emotional access to him. And I think Cassius may fear that more than anything. I could be wrong, but I think there may be a scene coming where Britt looks at Cassius and realizes she does not recognize him anymore. Or maybe worse, she realizes she has recognized him all along and simply refused to admit it. That would hit hard emotionally, because it would turn Britt's guilt into horror. And if Cassius attacks her, I feel it would not just be about anger. I think it would be about control. He would be trying to lock away the one person who can connect all the pieces. So where does that leave Jocelyn? In my opinion, Jocelyn's survival may depend on Britt choosing truth over family. But if Britt gets captured too, then the story becomes even more frightening. Two women could be trapped inside a web of secrets, while everyone outside looks in the wrong direction. I feel like the danger at Windermere is not only physical, I think it is psychological, emotional, and deeply personal. And that is why I keep coming back to the same chilling idea. Maybe Cassius is not only hiding Jocelyn, maybe he is preparing to erase every person who knows too much. That is just how I see it. This is just my interpretation. I could be wrong. But I feel that Britt may be standing at the edge of the most dangerous choice she has ever made. Protect Cassius one more time, or expose him before Jocelyn, and maybe Britt herself pays the price. What do you think? Is Britt about to betray Cassius, or is Cassius about to betray Britt first?
Goodbye. Please like, subscribe, and comment on the GH Spoilers Daily channel.